Absolutely. There's a lot of talk at the moment as we look at the course. Start, eliminator race, ski. There we see it out around the 3 cans. Furthest out because it's the fastest craft. Board, not quite as far, only the 2 cans, and swim leg. The order will change each time, run leg in between, and a run to the finish line. So, absolutely. A lot of talk on the beach about Kendrick Louis and Kai Hurst and how good they look.
And this is race 1. Remember, it's all about who finishes at the bottom, not necessarily who finishes at the top. You just got to safely get across the line, and we are underway on Smith's Beach in round 2 for the men in the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series.
Looking across the field here, they've spread out quite a bit. Now, the aim right now is to get on the bottom and get a little bit of water that's travelling out. So that's what they're trying to do, get down there. You'll see them stay down for a little while. They don't come up exactly straight away. Kai Hurst over on the right-hand side there always stays down a little bit longer, and that's what usually gets him out a little bit further in front of everybody else. Look for Shannon Eckstein and Kendrick Louis at the start of this. They're our 3 best swimmers. They're also our 3 best Ironmen at the moment.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they attack this format today. And it'll be interesting to see how they take this first leg out, whether they put themselves out in front. But it looks like they are. Kendrick Louis, Kai Hurst, out in front. They're taking to the other guys early.
I've noticed in the last couple of years, and Tim, you've kind of alluded to this in the, you know, sort of the cruise missile of Shannon Eckstein. In the last couple of years, he's got even more and more comfortable sitting on people's hips, sitting on people's feet, just sitting there watching, not being like the young buck running across the paddock, so to speak. He really does sit back and actually bide his time, and that's a really important thing. If you're as skillful as Shannon, you don't have to panic. Have a look at that. What a wonderful thing there. There's Matt Poole back in 11th spot, and as we see, 4-3. So there's a little bit of a chat on the wave there too. Shannon Eckstein talking to Kendrick as they come in. I think Kane Eckstein, Kai Hurst we've got there as well, but Matt Poole back at 11th. You don't want to let the first 3 get away like that.
Yeah, remember, if he stays where he is, he'll be no longer competing. Today, the red zone is not where you want to be. And he did mention that in the interview, didn't he, Shannon Eckstein, about where he was to see Kai Hurst make his way up the beach first. Shannon Eckstein mentioned, yeah, I was in about 6th, 7th, and then I just gradually lifted.
He's so intelligent, Reece. You've raced him many times too. Just the way he does it and sits back. Kane Eckstein coming through, and he won't let himself get in a bad position here.
That's right, and you can see the intensity pick up with these guys at the back a little bit further. That run leg's a little bit harder. You can see Matty Bevilacqua. And here's Pooley, Wesy Berg. They're back a little bit. They won't want to be there.
And young gun Tannen Linden, I just saw 2nd or 3rd last there, so he won't be liking that. I think he wants to make his mark in the series this year. Got to get a move on. But Kai Hurst, almost the man of the moment in round 1. Now in round 2, looking fantastic as well.
And here's Pooley. He's trying to make up some ground. He's got a fair bit of work to do. He's trying to pick up that rate. And here we are on board with Thomas Trembath, about to punch through this wave. Awesome.
Oh, no.
What happened then?
He just lost his board.
He has
there we
lost
go,
his
we'll see
board.
it. He's missed the strap.
Oh.
He's missed the strap. Tommy Trembath, he's not going to like that. International man of leisure, he refers to himself. That's a bit too much leisurely, I think.
Yeah, he's making us all feel human as we see the start of the race. This is the men's race. We're at Smith's Beach, round 2, the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series. Kai Hurst, a remarkable performer both in the Ironman and at the Olympic Games. And a bloke he competed with quite a bit through his time is with Ros Kelly on the beach.
Well, Zane, round 1 here at Smith's Beach, you had to alter the course because of conditions. Can you talk us through today's?
Yeah, so this is the Eliminator Format, a really exciting short course race. We're aiming for around 12-minute races. It's a really tactical format, this one. You know, you've got to make sure that you get qualified through each race, but you've got to leave enough in the tank for the next race and, more importantly, the final race. And so that's what these experienced guys will be doing. They'll really be, you know, making sure that they're in control of their position and that they'll be qualifying, but leaving enough in the tank for that final race where it really matters.
Great, thanks for your insight, Zane.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ros. Thanks, Zane. And it is an exciting format.
It is, and the big 3 that we talk about has been joined by the big 4th, Kane Eckstein. But the story of the moment is the big 5 or 5th. Matt Poole is back in the red zone, just about to face elimination if he doesn't get a move on.
Well, that's it. If you're just joining us now, those last few competitors will not compete for the rest of the day. It's a process of elimination. There's Matt Poole there. You can see him signified in the number 4 in that tattoo on the bicep of his left arm. He has a bit of work to do.
And I talked a little bit earlier, Reece, about Tannen Linden as well, who was back second last, and he's now moved into about 8th or 9th spot. So he's made the move that Pooley needs to make.
Yeah, and Pooley looked a little bit distressed. You could see on his face he wasn't doing it real easy. So this will be a huge, huge part for him, this ski leg. And you can see him here. He's trying to pick that rate up, trying to make up some ground on these leaders and put himself back in that safe zone.
And what a difference, Tim, if we flash back to the wave we saw the boys on the board before, as we see the guys punch right into one. Nathan Smith there, on board camera, great shots as he punches through, head down, tucks the paddle in behind him so he doesn't get knocked backwards, pulls it off. But these three lead guys, Kai Hurst was having a chat to Kendrick Louis on the wave, giving the thumbs up to the camera. Their mate Matt Poole's back here not thinking about any of that.
Yeah, he's just thinking about not getting eliminated. Extraordinary story, isn't it, Nathan Smith, to come back after so long away?
Yeah, and it's great to see Nathan back. He's obviously a very busy man these days. He's got three young children, and to fit all that training in and to compete at this level, he's got his work cut out. But he's doing well here today. He'll be happy to be back in the sport.
As we see, as the Eckstein brothers come down onto this leading wave, they're comfortable. Kai Hurst is comfortable. Back behind them, Josh Minogue didn't look too bad. These two boys, this is a statement they're making. Of course, that's fantastic for them, but back where the action is, Matt Poole sitting there in 12th. He's currently not making it. He's going to have to win a sprint up the beach to get through.
Yeah, that's where the business section is, isn't it, of this race? Because the guys at the front, well, those well at the front know they're going to cruise into the next round. Look at Wes as he gives us the two fingers. He's a character, isn't he, Wes Berg? But those at the back, that's where you're going to see these fierce faces, this real competitiveness, because if they don't get to a certain point, they are gonski.
Well, that's 4 on that wave, Tim. So 3 of those are going to get through, 1 is not. So they've got to get in the top 3 in that sprint to the beach, and I'm sure we'll see it here in a moment. Here they come, they stand up.
Yeah, 4 left, 3 spots, and it looks like Nathan Smith can't stay with them. These 3 are going to get through. It's Poole, it is Allen, and it is also Linden. They are all through safely. Tell you what, by the hair of their chinny chin chin.
Wow, what a race. At the back, these eliminators get very exciting, but up the front, Kane Eckstein, Kendrick Louis, Shannon Eckstein, Hursty, Minogue and Berg did a very good job there, Reece.
Yeah, definitely. Hayden White, Matty Bev, Tannen Linden, Pooley, they'll be stoked to get through. And good result from Hayden Allen.
Unlucky there for Nathan Smith, Cameron Cole, Mitchell Miller, Dane Farrell, Thomas Trembath. They have the afternoon off.
Well, Matt, geez, that was tense there. You just snuck through.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, I tried to get off to a good start in the swim. Missed that first wave, and then I was kind of chasing from there. I was just trying to keep myself out of the red zone, but yeah, I didn't really want that sprint finish. Hopefully I can do something a bit better this second round.
You're coming off a broken leg. Rate your fitness.
It hasn't been an ideal preparation, but I'm still here, still having a crack and still alive, so hopefully we can turn it around.
I'll let you go. Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, first is as good as where Matt Poole is. Not so good for these guys. Young Miller is gone, and Nathan Smith, I tell you what, he must be disappointed, absolutely exhausted as well. He came 4th in that sprint, and that means it's gone. Race 2 now, just about to get underway. The boys are ready and off.
And this is a hot race, Tim. You've got to understand, this is like 11 of the best Ironmen in the world trying to come down to 6. We all think about the 3rd race, how it's dramatic. This is a lot of effort put into this race to make sure you get through to that final round.
And sometimes it can be the hardest race too, Trevor. I know that first one you can sometimes get through on adrenaline.
Whoa.
It's still coming through. There's still some waves that can make a big difference. But like we're talking about, this second race is going to be extremely important. And Pooley looks like he's off to a good start. He popped that wave really nice.
For the uninitiated, what sort of diet process are we going through? I don't need a full day's culinary intake, but what's going on here? Because there's so much so quick.
Well, it really is a great point, Tim. There's a lot of energy being burnt off, and it's getting more and more scientific all the time. Of course, what they do is protein for rebuilding, good carbs for energy, and it's a lot of these guys. It's different for everyone. They have their own particular things that they like, but it's like 6 meals a day these times. They've got to keep up the energy to do this, and it's all about recovering at the right time. So individual, you know, that they make different decisions, of course, but that's the basis of it.
Yeah, and their body's burning right at the moment as we see them right in the middle of race 2. And there's a guy that's been doing it for a long time. That is Wes Berg.
Such a good board paddler too, Wesley. He's got those long arms, that long body, long reach. He's been a great board paddler for a long time. And there's little Kane Eckstein ripping in and ripping in. That's how he likes it.
Kane Eckstein popped his head up as like a 17-year-old and won the World Open board race title. I think it was in Italy at the time or something like that. And everyone went, wow, how good is Kane going to be? And he's been there ever since. Not so happy about that situation, but he is an incredible athlete. There you go. That's the passion that Kane Eckstein races with.
I love that. I love how he's an angry little man. He really gets into his racing. But here's Shannon out in front, looking comfortable. Wesley Berg was on that front wave as well, and they're having a little chat, just organising things. Very focused there, Wesley.
So once again, there's the nice four. They'll be comfortable with that. Matt Poole, here we go again. He's back not in that front four. He's back a little bit. We're talking a bit about him, but that's because he's so good. And he was right next to Kai Hurst there. So two of our big guns. Look over Matt Bevilacqua. Bit of a star here on the rise. Matty Bev from Tasmania. Got a crowd on the beach cheering him on. We love Bev. And incredible young man. He's doing really well too.
Used to some cold water, you'd say.
Definitely, and that's a great race for him so far. It'd be interesting to see how he goes on with it.
There's Shannon Eckstein, and his brother Kane, we mentioned him before, an extraordinary performer. A year off, of course, and he's come back and he's right at the top edge again. Yeah, Kane Eckstein, he's cut, isn't he? Absolutely ripped up.
Impressive specimen of a man, of an athlete, unbelievable. And he really did apply himself well to Ironman triathlon racing, but he did have that bone spur, and that pulled him out of the Hawaiian Ironman when at one stage he was leading the age group category. So incredible job, and great to see him back in the sport, and his brothers loving having him there.
You can see Kendrick Louis now back out in front, looking good. Shannon Eckstein, Wesley Berg having a great race as well. And there's Matty Bevilacqua. He's having a great race.
This is starting to hot up here. This is the part of the field where we're looking back into that back 5 places. And these guys are pretty comfortable. They're enjoying themselves right now. Not the other guys. Remember, this is their career. So when they're sitting back now, if they get eliminated and sit the afternoon out, they lose points, they lose prize money. There's a whole season starting to weigh in the balance here.
Yeah, this is what puts food on the table for most of these guys, and the blokes that are at the back end of this field are gone. So it doesn't matter if you are even an inch out of the top 5, or top 6 rather for this, you're out.
Look at this wave here. We're going to have 1, 2, maybe up to 7 people on this wave. So tight shot there of Kendrick Louis coming down, holding. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that are going to battle it out in this next leg. 2 of those are going to miss out. Matt Poole is at least in that position now, equal lead.
Yeah, Matt Poole is in this group, so it's going to be a mad sprint. We have 6 of these that'll make it, 2 that can go and play golf this afternoon. Shannon Eckstein leads the way. Wes Berg is up there.
That's a who's who of Ironman racing there. When you include the older guys in Tannen Linden and Reese, how fantastic to see Matt Bevilacqua in there amongst them.
It's just great to see all these young guys doing well.
They are the future of this sport. Hayden White there, Hayden Allen as well. And there is a pathway now. Of course, it starts with the Wave Warriors. It was held in Perth, but Shannon Eckstein, he might be talking himself down there a little bit. He can swim.
I was going to say quite humble by Shannon, because he actually is probably the closest to Kai. Kai is outstanding, but Shannon's the one right on his tail. Board ski swim, here we go. Last leg, it's getting exciting now. Who's going to get through to this final round? Who makes and who breaks?
They're really close together. They're really clumped up in that transition there. This is a really tight race, and some great shots of the underwater and that technique of some of the guys there.
See Tannen Linden at the back of that pack there. So he's moved right up on the tail of the pack. I'm pretty sure he's keen to not get eliminated right now. There's Matt Bevilacqua starting to slip back too. So we thought he was in a comfortable position, but it's all changing right now.
Smith's Beach in the Margaret River in Western Australia, a beautiful part of the world, and it's certainly produced some extraordinary racing in the Ironman series, the Nutri-Grain series here.
When was the last time you went for a 400-metre swim, Tim? It's not the easiest thing to do, is it? Particularly not at the end of a race like this.
You're asking the wrong person, Cliff. I don't think I ever have.
Reese?
It's been a while since I've done one too, but I do remember it. But this is a great race. Look at these guys. Look how close they get around these cans. Bit of argy-barge. It's good to see.
So what do we got there? We've got Kai, then Kendrick, then Shannon back there behind him. Kane Eckstein right there as well. Wes Berg sitting quite comfortably there. Matt Poole's moved right up. Tannen Linden sitting just off qualifying right there. he was going to want to get a move on as well.
It's not just 400 metres either. It's 400 metres in the ocean, and it's not flat as a tack today.
No, up and down, currents moving around, banging against somebody else, and you've already absolutely lactated yourself out in 2 rounds so far.
Here we are, and Kai Hurst out in front. Look how high he sits in the water. That nice kick. He'll just swim on top of that, get a bit of a run off that swell there. Wesley Berg, he's back in 5th. Kendrick comfortable, Kai comfortable. Here's a wave.
Here's a wave. Here we go. Kai Hurst, pick him to get this. And he's got over it, Kai Hurst. He's an absolute genius at this stuff.
Beautiful. Look how relaxed he is. Oh,
God.
Oh,
hanging loose.
And the boys, I tell you what, when they know they're out of the red zone, they are very, very comfortable. But it's quite in contrast to the guys that are at the back as Kai just gradually and gracefully brings his arm over. Those on the edge and beyond are the ones that are really intense.
isn't that how life is? You know, when you're doing well, you're waving to the camera, so to speak. You know, when you're not, you've got the grumps and the sulks.
I can't believe he's just giving us a little
Giving us a little shugger.
Some days are diamonds, some days are stones.
Here we go.
Okay, what do we got? So that looked like coming up to the 5th, so right up to 5th place. Coming out, we're going to miss one here. Tannen Linden.
Here we go.
So top 6 makes it. There's the 2 Ecksteins.
That's our 6.
And there they are. There's Louis. Of course, Hurst goes across first.
Tannen Linden. Matt Poole's got through.
Matt Poole's there as well. And this is the elite of the elite. Matt finishes.
They're in.
Where's Berg?
Where is Wesy?
Where's Berg's disappeared?
It's Joshy Minogue and Hayden Allen. So Joshy's going to get 7th today, but Wes Berg has just vanished. I'm not sure
There
where
he
is now.
In 8th spot.
Matt Bevilacqua.
Hasn't had a great swim. Those boys will be happy with the result. Other than Wes, I would say those young guys have done pretty well. But what a top 6. That's the top 6 from last year's Deep Water Series. They said maybe Tannen shouldn't have been in that series. He's too young, but look at him. There's the big 6. He's made his mark.
Hurst, Linden, Eckstein, Louis and Poole. And doesn't it set it up beautifully for a 3rd and final race here at Smiths Beach in the Margaret River. Minogue, Allen, Berg, Bevilacqua and White all off for the afternoon.
Joshy Minogue, he'll be happy with that 7th place. Wesley Berg, though, he'll be really disappointed with that.
Well, Kai, what an incredible race. That was anyone's until the swim leg, and then you just smoked them.
Oh, look, it's, you know, the first 2 rounds, yeah, they count, but you just got to make sure that you do enough to get through. I'm starting to feel the effects of the first round, but, you know, looking forward to this 3rd and final race. Should be good. I just need to get off to a good start and hope for the best in a couple of waves.
Okay, well, good luck.
Thanks, cheers.
Yeah, Kai Hurst talking to Ros Kelly and Wes Berger talk about contrasting emotions. He's not happy at all. What happened? We've just heard he got monstered in that swim. A few of the blokes came straight over the top. Wes got hit to the bottom of the deck and just was over from there. So not happy, poor old Wes. This is the final race. We're going to get a winner out of this of round 2. Matty Poole has just limped through in these first couple of rounds, but it's all square again.
And this is major. Running down, picking up your ski and your paddle. There's so much that can go wrong here. If you get a good skip and a good start, you could set yourself up for the whole race. Probably the most critical part. Tannen Linden away really, really well there.
And he's got here the hard way. Through the trials, Tannen Linden. It wasn't easy. Yeah, tough old ride back, and there he is, Tannen Linden, and of course the beautiful Kingscliff Beach and that salt resort. If you ever get the chance, just extraordinary.
How inspiring for the young kids that are watching this to know that Tannen Linden has come through that pathway, made it into the series. Now he is here with the superstars of the sport of this day and age. Great job, Tan.
Love his enthusiasm too. And that's carrying out. He's got a great start. As we see Matty Poole bounce over one of those little waves. And it looks like Kendrick Louis out in front. He's taken to this race. He wants this one.
As we look across the field there, it was Poole, then across to Kane. Over on this side, we've got Tannen second in from the side, but Kai Hurst is going to be on the inside of the turn. So if he can move up a little bit more, he might even get on Kendrick's inside. No, look at that, Shannon. Just as I said it, Shannon's moved and gone, no, thanks, I want that.
Just cruised up, didn't he, like a motor racer.
Absolutely. If you just get naturally on the inside, it pushes the other person around. You get the sharper turn on the inside and away you go.
Kendrick Louis, he's looking strong as we see Kai Hurst. He's not out of it. He's just sitting. Kane's on the outside of him. But Kendrick's looking really strong on that ski. as he's starting to chase a few of these little runners, and he's got away a little bit from Shannon there. That's a great little move from Kendrick there.
A little bit off balance there when he was paddling across on the runs. You look at Shannon, watch him. Watch the technique here, just the strength in the shoulders. And both these two doing a great job. Look at the lean forward of Shannon as he moves past. Applies the thumb screws a little bit, and so good on the ski.
Yeah, there's only 6 of them left. Of course, a process of elimination. This is race 3. We're at Smith's Beach, round 2 of the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series, as the boys get on a nice little wave and can take a nice breath.
In very similar sized conditions back at the World Championships last year, these two battle it out right through to the last leg, and it's almost got a bit of deja vu about it. They're both incredibly good competitors in these conditions over this distance.
You can see the rest of the competitors on that wave just behind them. So a nice little break here for the first two, but the others aren't out of this. But this is a great start. And watch how light Shannon is on his feet. I love watching his transitions.
It's got a bit of old bull, young bull about it, doesn't it, this?
Yes, absolutely, but it's the third race now. You're going to see a different little pace on Shannon. You'll start to see his legs move a bit faster. He's a bit more dynamic. He sets the race up a bit different when he knows it's down to the last one. Kai Hurst looking determined. Tell you what, that's 6 determined-looking cookies right there.
Yeah, and you just mentioned it before, Trevor, how this sets up everything, these early rounds, round 1, round 2 here, because it means points later, it means dollars later, it means setting up your whole series.
And when you've got a weapon of a swim leg like Kai Hurst, he's thinking, right, now is when I use it. Reece, I'm going to throw it out to you. Where's he going to come out of the swim leg? What place?
I will think he will either come out first or second. And you can see those other guys just honing in on Kai. You know, if you want to follow someone out, Kai Hurst is the man to follow out. But trying to stay on his feet, that's the hard thing.
But the other thing about Shannon Eckstein is that ability to surf the wave, and he is extraordinary. Courtney Hancock did it in the women's, and he's done it so far in the early part of this series, just being able to get it at the right time, have the timing that just sits him beautifully.
Absolutely. You're looking at probably 6 of the most certainly talented in strength and fitness and everything else, but they're all very skillful in the surf, these 6 guys. If they do get a body wave, don't look at them to drop it. They'll be all the way to the beach on it.
Kendrick
Are the big guns, the best in the business, battling it out. You pretty much can't split it. They're just coming in from the swim leg. 1 more to go. That is the board. Now, the rivalry between these guys is absolutely fierce. They all competed against each other in Channel 9's series, Deepwater as well.
The Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series, Smith's Beach in Western Australia, and yes, it has all come down to this.
There you can see it, the order, ski swim board. They're running out of the swim, down to the last board leg. I referred to the World Championships between these two last year, and basically Shannon Eckstein got away in the board leg and set up that world title win. Kendrick Louis, I reckon, would have that fresh in his mind. He'd be thinking, no, I want to do that to him today. So let's see if he can. Shannon Eckstein, one of the greatest board paddlers of all time, incredible at the board at the end of an Ironman race.
Definitely, Trevor, and just the pain these guys are going through. The third race of the day, you can see on Pooley there, that pain. They are hurting. Now, this is when Shannon Eckstein is super, super good.
Exactly as you say. Look at that look on Matt Poole's face. Tanner Linden, the young gun, up, not looking so painful, running quite fast, chasing.
Okay, you got Shannon Eckstein, this superstar. What about Kendrick Louis on the board?
Well, Kendrick, fantastic board paddler. Up against one of the greatest board paddlers of all time, but fantastic, and I'm sure so determined. You can see that look on his face. He's been my pick. He was my pick for round 1. Wasn't quite happening there, but I tell you what, he's in such good condition at the moment, and he's getting more and more confident as time goes on. No bad leg, especially not the board leg.
This is going to come down to the run if they stay like this, isn't it? Unless one gets a rare wave, they are right on each other.
Shannon Eckstein, he's an expert at getting around the can and getting on runners and breaking guys on the way in. It's going to be up to Kendrick to really try and take it to him. You can see that. He's not giving Shannon an inch, and if anything, he's taking it to him.
Prophetic words there. I want to be the next Shannon Eckstein. Well, he's going to take one big step to doing that if he can possibly knock him off here. Kendrick Louis back home on the northern beaches, the beautiful northern beaches of Sydney, and as happy as he's been.
And they're clear out as Kai Hurst and Matt Poole get knocked back. Kendrick Louis last year in a 2-hour race at Surfers Paradise Beach. 1 hour into it, he was a minute behind second last place in last spot. actually just decided to relax, came all the way through the field and ended up winning that 2-hour race. This guy, make no mistake, he's a superstar of this sport as we join Tanner Linden on his way out.
He's having a real crack too, Tanner. He's not giving in. But look at Kendrick Louis just taking to Shannon Eckstein. Like you said, Trevor, Shannon's one of the best board paddlers of all time. And for Kendrick to be staying in front of him, that's a huge effort.
And one of Shannon's favourite moves on the inside. Kendrick's turned the tables here. He's got Shannon on the outside, and he's going to have that for both cans.
Yeah, that's a great move to keep him out. As we see Kai coming up to the turning can. He's not out of it yet. Don't write Kai Hurst off. There's these little waves that are popping up on the way back in. It's a great race.
But these guys have got a little bit of a drift on the field. How important is the whole process, the transition? You talk about transitions to get the ski, the transition to get into the swim. What about the transition to get off the board and hit, as we see Louis here, get a little bit ahead of Eckstein?
Perfect timing, Tim, to ask that question, because there's also a transition coming out of the can. He put Shannon out to the wide, and when he turned, he took off, had half a board length on him, got the first run, so he's got a tiny little lead. Of course, as you say, when they get to the water's edge, it's all about who gets off first, who gets off in the best spot. You don't want to get off too deep. It's such a timing thing. But right now, Kendrick Louis doesn't want to run up the beach. He wants to get on a wave on his own, and it's not going to happen. Look at this. We've got it again.
Sprint finish. Here we come.
Here it is. Here's the wave, Reece. You speak of the peaceful time before the furious finish, and this is Louis and Shannon Eckstein. You've got the champion, you've got the other that wants to be the champion, and how close is this? Eckstein on left of screen, Louis on right of screen. What happens when they get off the board and run up the beach? Who gets off first and who gets away? Will it be the young buck or the old buck? It looks like it's going to be Louis. Louis off first. He comes around here. Kendrick Louis punches the air. He knows he's got it. And Kendrick Louis, he wants to be Shannon Eckstein. Well, today he has beaten him in round 2 of the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series.
How good was that? The young bull. He wanted that pretty badly. He just got that little jump on him. But here we go for 3rd place. This will be a good sprint finish. 3rd or 4th.
And we're starting to look at point score too now. 3rd and 4th. Kai Hurst right up there after 2nd in the 1st round. What's going to happen here? It's going to get pretty close.
Yeah, so here it is. There's Kai Hurst there in jersey number 5. Kane Eckstein takes a fall. It's another Eckstein. Eckstein and Hurst, 2 pretty famous names in this sport. Kai gets the inside running and he hits the line, so he'll get there in front of Kane.
Oh, that looked excruciating to try and run up that sand after that effort. Short course race, Matt Poole into 5th place. What an improvement after struggling through those first couple of rounds. One of the stars of the day for me, Tanner Linden into the top 6 to show he belongs in this field. Incredible race. This Eliminator is an amazing race to watch.
Yeah, Linden had a big smile on his face. I think he was pretty happy to be there. We saw the trials and tribulations he went through just to be at Smith's Beach in Western Australia. Kendrick Louis, number 1. Shannon Eckstein, Kai Hurst, Kane Eckstein, Matt Poole and Tanner Linden.
As we look over here, Joshy Minogue, he'll be stoked with that 7th place. Wesley Berg, as we said, he'll be disappointed. Nathan Smith, he was a little unlucky today.
Closing out the field on the 3rd page. They've all got some good points there. This is all about re-qualifying. Cam Cole, Mitch Miller, Dane Farrell and Thomas Trambath, right back to that board loss, has put him back in 16th spot.
So there they are.
Kendrick, congratulations, mate.
Thanks, mate. It was a tough last race out there. You know, it was, myself and Shannon. You had Kai there as well, and even Pooley. They were just, mate, the pace was on from the very first race. You know, you've always got Pooley wanting to lead from the front. As soon as he gets a sniff, mate, he just goes for it. So it's one of those things, if you can get in front of him and try and build a bit of confidence, it will be a big day.
Kendrick, you've pretty much put yourself in a perfect position for the season. How are you feeling about that?
Mate, I think it's early days. It's round 1 and 2, so we've still got another 4 rounds to go. So it's just, you take each race as it comes, try and be positive, and we'll go to Newcastle. We might have some big swell, and anything can really happen. So it's good money in the bank. You just got to try and build on it.
Who are the ones that you're looking out for around you? Obviously, it's a strong pack up there at the top.
Definitely Shannon Eckstein. He's ever most consistent, mate. It's something like, you might think like round 1, actually, I had a good little lead, and, they came over the top of me when I sort of got a bit complacent. You've got guys like Pooley and the whole crew at Mooloolaba there. mate, they're probably the fittest here and they'll go all day. So especially guys like Pooley, he's an aggressive racer. As soon as he gets a sniff, mate, he'll just go for the win.
All right, mate, well, let's talk about the race today. Let's talk about your tactics. Were you planning just to hang back? Did you want to go out and lead from the front? Rest when you could? What was the go today?
My race plans are usually pretty simple, mate. It's, turn up on the day, enjoy your racing, and you'll go well. So it's the first race in an Eliminator, as you know, it always hurts the most. So you've sort of got to take that out hard, blow the cobwebs out, and, from then on, try and build from there, and without getting too carried away with a first race win in an Eliminator.
Yeah, and look, that last race, it was a cracker. Obviously, you got that little wave in the swim to put you out in front, give you that bridge that gap from the back markers. Then you got held up a little bit on the board. What was going through your mind? Like, I know you've got a fair bit of mongrel in you. I could see you gritting your teeth. What was going through your head?
It was, mate. I guess Shannon and I, we were lucky enough to get that little wave in the swim leg. We ran around on the board, and I'm like, I've got a tough board leg ahead of me, as anyone would know in this sport. Shannon's one of the best paddlers out there, and we got held up by a few of the waves, and I just thought, just hang in there, be patient. We've got a little buffer on the boys, and we snuck out, and then turn that last can, I just pulled up this little run, and I just thought to myself, I've got this. Just go for it, mate. And I went for it, and then it was just a dead section, and I was just like, you're kidding me, mate. I turned around, saw this little wave jack up, and Shannon just to the right and got down, and I said, it's on here. And I just put my head down and went, get those legs pumping. And get ready. And my little section of the wave sort of doubled up, and I think, I was sort of looking at the ground, see a few potholes, and it flattened out. I said, as soon as there's a clear bit of sand, I'm going for this. And I got up and got my little legs pumping and turned around. I saw I had about 5 metres, and that's enough. It's a 30-metre sprint finish, and I thought if I got 5 metres...
Fist pumped
it. You don't get to do it very often. So I think, when you get a win, it's important to express your emotions and just get it out of your system and get ready for the next round.
Kendrick Louis, congratulations again, mate. Proud of you. Good start to the season. And right now we're going to throw to Ros Kelly with Shannon next time.
Shannon, incredible start to the series, a first and a second.
Yeah, I was pretty, I think, fortunate in round one to come away with the win, but round two, Kendrick was really dominant, I thought, throughout the 3 races, and just couldn't quite get him at the end there, but some good points. Looking forward to round 3 now.
Take us through this round, and in particular the final. It was fierce between you. It was hard to split you until the end. Yeah,
in the second round, I sort of got a little bit of a lead, and the boys come through, so I sort of had to go through a bit more gears than I wanted to and use up a bit more energy before round 3. And you come to that round, you start getting a little bit dizzy, a little bit faint, and you've given it your all, but it's the last race of the day, and just come up a little bit short there, but really happy with second.
Kendrick, he's very hungry. These young guns are putting the pressure on you now?
They are, definitely. Kendrick's been up and coming for a number of years now. He's got the experience now, so there's no excuses for him, and he's showing that he's definitely a title contender.
How do you rate the rest of the competition?
Kyle looks incredibly fit. He probably had a disappointing year last year, but he's come back really strong this year. Kane's up there again, and Matt Poole's in the final, and young Tanner Linden again in the final. So there's a whole heap of guys coming through, and really looking forward to Newcastle round 3 now.
What other plans into Newcastle for you?
Just recovery. I think we've all done a lot of work in the off-season, had 2 really good races now, and just recovery and freshen up and get these old legs ready to go.
Okay, enjoy. Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks, Roz.
Thanks very much, Roz. Let's check out the men's standings. It's the usual suspects, Reece.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And it's not surprising. Shannon Eckstein, Kai Hurst, Kendrick Louis. And, mate, they look so good over the first 2 rounds. They look super fit. Their skill level was amazing. Not surprising at all. It's going to take a lot for the others to catch up to those 3.